This is Brian at ScreenFiles.com and Trail's Reaction. And before I begin, I want to thank IMDb, from where I get the plot summaries of these movies, and Dread Central, because horror movie trailers are a bit hard to find sometimes, and it's nice to have a resource like Dread Central to look to see what's new out there. In any case, according to IMDb, the summary of Blind is as follows. A former actress, left blind by a botched surgery, struggles to put her life back together, but realizes she isn't as alone as she thinks after meeting a few new friends. I don't know how to take that, because it sounds like almost like a rom-com. It also potentially sounds like someone is in a house type situation, in that she can't see, but there's a presence always there. But conversely, part of me doesn't want it to be that, because if it is, I get the feeling the people producing it aren't clever enough to realize that just because you can't see doesn't mean you can't detect a presence, especially in your home, because it's a place you're accustomed to, and being blind doesn't mean your hearing stops working. It doesn't mean your sense of smell stopped working. So I would argue that you don't need to see a person to know a person is present, or at least to suspect a person is present. So in any case, let's take a look at the trailer for Blind. And I should mention that this is the UK trailer. I haven't seen the domestic trailer, so I don't know if that makes any difference one way or the other.
Nobody's gonna believe this.
It's a bit like Hush, actually.
I think someone broke into my house. The film was my life. Some of my favorite childhood memories are tied to the scene. I dreamed of seeing myself on the big screen. And now, I can't see myself anymore.
Well, that was the trailer for Blind. It's almost like a teaser trailer. It's so short. But what I kind of like is that there seems to be an element of self-pity to the portrayal of a blind person. And that's not to say self-pity is good, but self-pity is human. And I sometimes get tired of movies that depict people with disabilities that are so heroic and so honorable and never feel weakness. This person, this woman who seems to be under threat, seems to have not been blind for a long time. What that means, I don't know. That could be days, months, years, I have no idea. But she clearly is not comfortable with being blind. And so she seems to be feeling sorry for herself. As I said, that's human, but it also could serve to heighten the drama and gives a bit of catharsis in the sense that when she faces her fear, which is apparently someone who is very real attempting to kill her, she'll become more comfortable and she'll grow beyond what she currently is, which is afraid and small. She'll literally become bigger. Not physically, which doesn't matter, but spiritually and mentally and personality-wise, which is a really interesting journey to take. And what's somewhat surprising is that it's not a path you see all that often in movies. As I said earlier, you tend to get a blind person in the vein of Denzel Washington's character in the movie that's eluding me right now. I can't remember the title. But now keep in mind, in that movie there was this conceit about essentially being driven by God, and God was his eyes. But still, it's the idea that you have blind people who are so confident in every step they take that it's almost as if they're not blind. That's an interesting approach if done well, but it's also too typical, and it gets really boring. I like to see that this movie, The Book of Eli, that's the Denzel Washington movie I was referring to. This movie seems to be at least acknowledging that this is scary, that this is not something you should necessarily be comfortable with. And for that, I applaud it. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. You agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.